Good morning, everyone. Jeremy Burke again from Dry Run, doing another interview with an excellent person that I met on LinkedIn. Today, I'd like to introduce to everybody Sarah Williams, who is the Vice President of Sales at Viva Capital Funding, and she has been working there for a few months, but has been in the industry of capital funding for many years. And so we are going to talk about a couple subjects on cash management today, and specifically, we're going to talk about a lot about factoring. So thank you very much for agreeing to meet with me again today, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Why don't you talk to the audience and tell them a little bit about your history and in your perspective in regards to cash management and factoring specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been in the asset-based lending and specialty finance arena for a little over 15 years now. All of that time, the majority of the time, was spent with a company called Interstate Capital, which was an asset-based lending receivable finance company. And they were acquired by Triumph Bank and merged with their asset-based lending factoring division, which was Triumph Business Capital. And I was there for a couple of years, and then had an opportunity to move over to Viva and took that opportunity. So I've been at Viva now, as you said, a few months, but have been in this industry for a very long time now, and actually was on the operations side when I started and did that for a few years, but moved over to sales, and the majority of my time has been spent as sales management, and in that role with both Interstate and Triumph, and then now with Viva. So quite a while now.
And it was an absolute pleasure to meet you. And we had probably a good hour and a half conversation the first time we met, and in regards to, and you're a fantastic storyteller and highly experienced in this. So let's talk about usually these conversations are leaded around cash management, but there's all kinds of different avenues. And so primarily, what does your company do and how do you help people with their cash?
Sure. So we like to think of ourselves as a specialty finance company. We offer, of course, asset-based lending, purchase order finance, and accounts receivable finance solutions for a variety of industries. Primarily, our clients are in the transportation, staffing, manufacturing industries, but we assist companies in any industry who have payment terms in place with their customers and have a need for ongoing working capital, and typically can't wait for the length of time between invoicing and payment. A lot of our clients are in, kind of cash intensive or businesses, or have businesses that have routine obligations and who have a need for daily or weekly cash flow.
Now, the invoice financing and asset-based finance, and there might not be something that a lot of people know about. Can you maybe give a hard example? Let's maybe talk about the transport company there. A lot of this happens in the transportation. What are some key elements in transport that require why does transportation seem to require these services there? Do you want to just talk about that and give some practical so people can kind of be grounded about why what you do is so important?
Absolutely. So many of our clients will come to us. They may be new in business, so just starting a company. They may be a company that's been in business for a year or two and has not yet built the financial stability, or doesn't have the financial history necessary to approach a bank for a line of credit or a loan. They may be companies who have filed for bankruptcy and who are coming out of that, so restructuring. So, companies that are generally not going to be able to go to a bank and access a line of credit or qualify for a loan. So they'll be looking for alternative financing solutions, and they'll, come to us to see what kind of options are available. So generally, the transportation example, you have a transportation company who is generating invoices sometimes on a daily basis. They have a customer who asks them to haul a load. They pick that load up, they deliver it, and they create an invoice. Well, they have many invoices that they're generating on a weekly basis, and they have daily working capital needs. They have to pay for fuel, they have maintenance expense, they have payroll, they have to pay drivers, they have monthly rent, they're renting a space to park their vehicles, they have office, they have their office staff payroll. So they are invoicing, they have invoices, they have receivables, but those receivables are often not going to pay for 30 days, sometimes up to 60 days. And so for them, they're maybe new in business or not able to walk into a bank and ask for a loan. So they have receivables, and they're able to take those receivables and turn those receivables into cash. And so what they will do is they'll approach us, and basically through a very easy qualification process, just establishing the identity of the company and who the owners are, essentially will qualify for our financing program. And once we have set them up, they start invoicing their customers. When they invoice, they bill their customers, they send those invoices over to us, and it's that simple. We process those invoices for them. We advance them on those invoices. And, some industries will qualify for a very high advance. In transportation, oftentimes the advance is as high as 97 or 98% of the total invoice amount. So they're able to take those invoices, be advanced on those invoices, and then they also get the benefit of having our back office support. So it isn't just the advance on the invoice and the working capital, the cash flow, but they also have the benefit of using our back office team. We keep payment status, we collect on the invoices, we process payments, because when you're factoring, your customers will issue payment directly to your factoring company. And so we collect the payment, we post payments for them, so they don't have to have anyone in their office who is assigned to daily payment posting responsibilities. We take that responsibility from them. So essentially, especially a smaller business, we can kind of manage the back office for them. And so they're not only getting the benefit of the improved cash flow and the benefits that come with that, but they also have the opportunity to operate with reduced staff, because a lot of the administrative support is outsourced to us. So it's a complete solution kind of from start to finish for them, and offers them not just the cash flow, improved cash flow opportunity, but it also provides them with other services that they can use to operate their business and to help them manage their day-to-day operation.
And this is a good point that you come across there. There's two things that really amazed me as I got more educated about the topic of factoring, is that first off, a lot of times the credit approval process is based on who your customer is. That was kind of an epiphany moment there when we were discussing, having a conversation that was kind of revealed by you, is that what you're doing is you're actually looking at who the customers are and if they're good, stable companies, and making your decisions based on that, which is interesting because usually the banks are making decisions specifically on the company that's asking for the money. That was definitely an interest and an eye-opener. And then the next thing is how far you actually go in the value offering and the services that you provide is beyond extensive there to what I've seen for most companies. You guys go way out of your way there to make sure that your customers are well taken care of.
Debtor creditworthiness is what drives the factoring process, which is what makes it much easier for companies to qualify for. But as we speak to the additional services, depending on the industry, a company may have a need outside of just factoring an invoice or getting advanced on an invoice. There are other specific needs that they may have along the way and in the normal course of their everyday operation. When we're talking about transportation, we offer discounted fuel cards so they can take our fuel card program. They use our fuel cards at the major truck stops all over the United States, and they're able to use those cards and get discounts at the pump when they purchase fuel. As well, those discounts extend to maintenance and tire purchases. So they're getting the benefit of also leveraging our network and using the fuel cards and getting discounts. So that's one of the things we do. We also provide advances on loads for fuel money. So normally we will be able to advance on a load once the load has been delivered, but we have some clients who may need fuel money, and so they have an upfront need for fuel funds before they even deliver a load, and we can provide advances for fuel. So that's just a couple of examples on the transportation side. We have some companies who, as I said, are manufacturers. They're building they're building things for their customers. They're manufacturing goods, and they receive a purchase order for a good and have to pay a material supplier to get the materials to build the products that they're building and that they'll be selling their customers. We also offer purchase order financing opportunities. So we may have a client who has a purchase order and needs a percentage of that up front in order to pay a material supplier to buy what they need to start manufacturing. We can assist with paying a supplier and providing some funds against that purchase order, so that provides them some capital even well in advance of factoring the invoice and receiving their advance. On the staffing side, we have partner with some different companies who can do payroll processing. So we're able to, through that network, get them connected with a company who can provide payroll services. And then we can also issue, when we advance on their invoices, we can issue payment directly to the payroll processing company, kind of, take that burden off of them and make that a more seamless transaction. So we do offer that. We also do some equipment financing. We can do refinancing of clients' equipment. That it does not just include the transportation company and their equipment, but also our manufacturing clients might have equipment that they are looking to finance and would like to try to finance that equipment with us, and we definitely look at those requests and are able to assist that way as well. So it kind of, as a factoring company, because you are, we like to think of ourselves as not just a factoring company providing advances and working capital to our clients, but really as a consultant and a partner in their business. And so we try to offer a variety of different services and programs that will help them as they continue to grow and bring on new business, and try to find some unique ways to help support them in that effort. So we often find ourselves as kind of consultants for them, connecting them with other partnerships or partners we have that can provide services, or if we're able to, providing those services in-house as well.
Sum it up, you use your vast experience to reduce a lot of friction for your clients so they can focus on their businesses and make it very painless there for them to work with you guys, which is fantastic. Now, on top of this, what's also impressive is there's a speed to results as well too. You guys are very quick at doing this as well too. Like a lot of times you'll hear conversations like what you've told me, that could be a 3 to 6 month consultation that year, but you're talking a matter of days there to help people get up and running with your company, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The setup process, because we're not looking at financials, we're not requiring a vast array of documentation. It's a very simple setup process. They submit an application with a list of somewhere between 5 and 7 documents. Basically, identification for the owners, corporate documents. We're not looking at their credit or their financials. We, so about 5 or 7 documents, 5 to 7 documents, and they submit those with the application. And our turnaround time is typically 24 to 48 hours. And we're able to have our factoring documents over to them for review and signature. And once they've completed those and returned them, we're ready at that point to start advancing on invoices. And the nice thing is they may have existing receivables that are in the payment process, not yet ready to be paid. In the first funding, we're able to advance on existing receivables as well as new transactions moving forward. So they're actually able to take some of what they've already billed if they need the working capital, and take those and factor those as well. So process is very simple, fast turnaround, and then they can begin factoring and financing invoices right away.
How can I know someone I'm talking to or is watching this video is a good prospect for you and should be connected with you?
Absolutely. So, we have a lot of business owners who will reach out to us themselves, who recognize that they may have a need and they want to learn more. As well, we have many individuals who reach out to us who are in finance departments or in accounts payable, who may have been tasked with or just want to learn a little bit more because they recognize that they are working for a company who might have a need. So we talk to individuals like that all the time. And as well, we often have people who will reach out to us because they know someone, a family member, a friend, that might benefit from our services, and so they'll contact us on their behalf. And we also have through that network that I mentioned, we've connected with a lot of different individual service providers who are in contact on a daily basis with companies and business owners who may have a need, and so they will often contact us and ask questions about our services. One of the, especially right now, one of the groups that we've been connecting with more often are actually bankers and loan officers at banks, because they'll have companies who are approaching them who may not qualify yet for bank financing, and they'd love to have an alternative lender, an alternative solution to steer them toward, and so they'll reach out to us.
Perfect. So just to kind of in summary, cash management is a fundamental business practice that needs to be highly paid attention to in these times. The factor in or asset-based or receivable-based financing is a great and viable solution for many different types of companies and industries. And obviously this recording proves that Sarah and her company Viva are definitely a company and people to be connecting with. So I'll have Sarah's contact information in this video at the bottom of the links there. Highly recommend you reach out and connect with her if you see opportunities for your own company or a company you work for, or if you service companies and you can see a benefit from these services to offer, and recommend you introduce those people to Sarah and she can help them out there, or at least push them into a better solution out there if Factoring is not the solution for them, or Viva is not the company for them as well too there. So she's more than happy to do that. I appreciate so much for your time there and sharing your knowledge today, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Jeremy.